Good morning and welcome back to my channel. So, today is Wednesday, I want to say it's the 8th today, 8th of January. And I had a busy day already. It is about 10 a.m. right now, and I already got so much stuff done, but I really needed to while I still have a little bit of energy. Um, I just wanted to do an update and tell you guys what's been happening, how different this pregnancy has been going in Germany to my first child, Alex, in America. So, the biggest thing that I've noticed, Germany is all about the paperwork. So, everything has to be documented, everything has to be put in on time on paper, everything has to be written out. I guess in the long run is good because I have proof of things, but on the other hand, it's also very annoying because between throwing up and not feeling good and having to deal with some other stuff, writing these is just a pain in the ass. Let's be honest. And the biggest thing in America around this time was everybody wants your money. So, oh, you had an extra appointment and we had to send you out again to do some blood work. Well, here's bills, 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 and it all have to be paid before the baby comes. So, I don't know which one is worse. I mean, I'm sure like paying all your bills like super early and not having any money left is worse than filling out some paperwork. But here it's like, I don't know. I'm getting so frustrated. So, because me and my husband don't make enough money, we're actually getting some help from the local job center here. Um, the problem with them is, well, besides that, they're not very friendly. They're very confused themselves. So, when you call and ask a question about a letter you received, everybody's completely confused. And then they ask each other and they still don't know what's going on. So they want you to put it on writing so they have more time to figure it out to send it to you again. Like, I'm obviously very appreciative that we're getting the help because in the US there's I wasn't getting any help. Like, even when I was in the Army Reserves and like barely making it as a waitress, and then the reserves money, they were not even helping me with food stamps or anything. They just said, well, you're not American, so sorry. And here I'm actually getting help, but they're not making it easy, and it stresses me out. And my doctor, she's like, well, don't walk too much, don't do too much, don't stress because of the issues you're having in your pregnancy. Well, shit, somebody else deal with job center then. So, yay. And then I'm no longer getting paid by my work. I had to put paperwork in to be paid by my insurance, and they only pay like 67% of your regular pay. So I took care of that. So I still haven't gotten anything paid. So I called them today and I'm like, hey, like, when am I going to get paid? Because I haven't even gotten paid for December yet. And they're like, oh, we're still waiting for some paperwork from your work, but it could take a while. Like, okay, so I'm not getting any money because I'm owing money to Job Center, and I'm not getting money for my insurance, and I'm not getting money for my work. So the struggle is real. And now I'm supposed to pay extra money because I need more ultrasounds because I'm a high risk pregnancy. But thank God the insurance said like I'll pay it, me and my husband, and then they will actually pay me back 80% of that. So thank goodness, because my gosh. I don't know how else I would be surviving right now until everything is like taken care of and done how it's supposed to be. So the good news is, here you can get something. It's called Berufsverbot. If you're high risk pregnancy and there's reason that you can't go back to your work during the pregnancy, a doctor can do that for you, and then your work still pays you 100% of what you normally make. Um, Everybody give me the runarounds. My job wasn't sure if they can do it. Um, then my gynecologist said she doesn't do it, and no matter what, she doesn't do it. Like, my sister was bedridden for like 2 months, I think, and she wasn't going to give it to her. She's like, well, you're saying I can't stand up besides going to the bathroom and the kitchen, but you're not going to give it to me. She's like, well, because I don't know what happened. I'm sure something happened where she's scared to give it to you because she probably gave it to too many people and then something went wrong and she had to pay a fine or something. So now I'm being sent to a different doctor that is actually specialized in it. And it's really hard to get in there. So I'm finally having an appointment next week there. And if he approves everything, I don't have to worry about it. Another thing is, when I was pregnant with my son, well, you know, you're pregnant in America and nobody pays you anything besides FMLA, and that's like different. You know what I mean? And not as long. Like, I think they do like 12 weeks. I don't remember, but it's like different. And here, I am supposed to keep getting paid, and then 8 weeks before I go into labor, I'm considered like parents' time, and my parents' time can go up to 3 years. So that means if you do 3 years, for 2 years you're getting like less pay, and the last year you don't. But if you don't make enough money, you're still going to get some help from the state. And your husband is allowed to take some parental time too, but you know, financially it's a little bit harder because if he does it, he's only going to get 67% of his pay for that whole year. You know what I mean? And then me getting less and him getting less, it's a little, you know. But I think at some point we're going to see if he can maybe take like a month or 2 months off. Maybe not at like once, but like 1 month here, 1 month there. You know what I mean? To help out. Because with a toddler and a baby, it's going to be hard. And then I'm trying to keep thinking. After my son was born, I had 6 weeks unpaid time. And then I had to go back to work. And it was so frustrating. I was pumping at work. Thank God I had an office. And while writing emails, I was pumping at work. And my milk supply was going down and down and down. So, and then I had some other issue. So I ended up putting 2 weeks in, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay home for a year with my child. That was really my goal, just staying home for a year to be there for everything. And a couple months later, you know, like sitting at home with a baby, and my husband kept working and working overtime, you know what I mean? And financially, it wasn't going so well. So I was like, I have to go back to work. So when my son was 6 months old, I had to go back to work. It was just impossible for me to stay home a whole year, which really sucked. It was really heartbreaking. It was really hard for me to go to work knowing my baby is. I had somebody there, she's German. She was actually working. I actually hired her husband for the company I worked for. I was in human resources. And she watched my son, and she was really good with him, no problem, and I trusted her. That wasn't the issue. But like, it's your little baby and you miss him, you know what I mean? Like, it was really hard to go wake up in the morning and dropping him off and he was crying, and it was really heartbreaking. And so I'm really glad that here I'm actually going to take 2 years parental time, so until the baby goes to kindergarten at 2, in the same kindergarten my son is going to right now. So I'm really excited that I'm going to be able to stay home for 2 years and not have to worry about like, oh my god, what we're going to do, how we're going to do this. And yeah, that's huge difference. And I wish the US would um, be a little bit more kids friendly, family friendly with things like that, because then a lot of women don't have to worry about losing their jobs if they have children or family. Like, it's kind of like, do you want this or do you want that? Some women, like, they still be able to do both, but I think if you try to do both, you're kind of still missing out on some stuff, you know what I mean? And here it's like, I told my employer I'm pregnant, I'm unfireable. Like, they can't fire me. um and I'm glad, because I had to tell them right from the get go because I have a lot of doctor's appointments, high risk pregnancy. I have to go to different specialists. I have to do a lot of blood work. I have to see anesthesiologist at a town next to us. Um, like I have to do ultrasounds every 2 weeks. So I have a lot of doctor's appointments, and I feel like in the U.S., if I would be like, hey, I have like 4 appointments in 2 weeks, and I have to drive somewhere, so I'm not going to come in that day, it would be an issue, and they would definitely make me feel like there's definitely an issue, and I might lose my job, and they will find somebody that will do the job. So I'm really glad that here I don't feel the pressure as much. I feel like I need to take care of me, I need to take care of the baby, I need to take care of my family. I don't want to worry about like being fired and losing my insurance and you know what I mean, like all that stuff. So those are the biggest differences right now. I am currently 14 plus 6, so tomorrow we're going to be 15 plus 0, so we're going to be officially in the 16th week. Next week, it's so crazy to think like I'm already going to start my 5th month of this pregnancy. I'm having some of the same issues as before. I'm still feeling sick. Before I was throwing up a lot, like 8+ times a day. Currently, it went down to about 3 times a day, so it's a big difference. I still get sick from some smells, but like I said, just not as bad as before. And when I weigh myself at home, so since I found out that I'm pregnant, um, it shows that I gained 2 kilograms, so that's almost 5 pounds so far in the 4 months, and it's okay. But the weight at the doctors, because they weigh you at the doctors all the time, actually haven't gained anything. So she's like, well, we know why, because you're puking a lot. I was like, well, yeah, it's hard to gain weight when you puke. And brushing my teeth is like a guarantee puke. Like, even if I don't puke the rest of the day on some days, and I'm lucky, like, it was just brushing my teeth. And I'm getting to the point where it's like dreading it. Like, I don't want to brush my teeth. I'm gonna puke. I don't want to puke today. I went through my closet and I looked like at the stuff I'm still fitting in, and I'm not fitting in. So, and I ordered a couple things. So, my plan is to make a short maternity style try on haul. I actually bought a couple summer pieces. They were on sale, and I was like, in summertime I'll pay $40. Now I'm paying $15. I'm gonna buy it now, and I'm gonna buy it stretchy so I can still fit in it, even with a big stomach. So I'll show that to you guys soon. I'm still waiting for one more packet, and then I'm gonna do it.